Hey, I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Jasa.
And welcome to Real Talk.
Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk. This is part 2 of our self-confidence mini-series.
The topic for this episode is going to be expectations. More specifically, the expectations we set for ourselves.
And our quote is, sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectations.
I think that's really, I don't know, it speaks volume to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like the way it's worded. That's what I meant to say.
I like the word that they use, like heartbreaks.
Mm-hmm. We create our own heartbreak through expectations.
Yeah.
And if I was to continue it on, I'd say through expectations we set for ourselves.
That's how, okay, so there's another thing that not just expectations we set for ourselves. That wasn't the only thing I did, but for the most part, we both thought that.
Yeah.
For expectations, that's what we thought of. And that's not the only thing. That's not the only heartbreak that can be.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, you can have heartbreak through different expectations, not the ones.
Yeah, not just from yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So personally, I have set this insane beauty standard in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Fueled by society, fueled by boys, whatever you want to say. But I've just expected. That's our key word for the thing is expected. That's baseline. That's what you're supposed to achieve. Just so we're all in the same definition of that. I expected me to look like everybody else or to look like that mold of perfection.
Yeah.
You know, I expected my body to be like this. I expected my face to look like this. I expected my hair to, everything about me. I had this exact beauty standard of what I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I shaved my legs simply because somebody told me.
Yeah.
And I was in, second grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get it. Women are kind of supposed to shave their legs, hygienic. But second grade.
For me, I did it because of dance. Like that. But side note, yeah.
No, but to anybody listening, second grade is very early.
Mm-hmm.
How old was I?
Well, probably 10. I really don't remember.
I had peach fuzz on my legs, okay? And it was, of course, it was darker because I have dark hair. But this girl came up to me and was like, "Oh, you don't shave your legs?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "You kind of need to. It looks like a monkey."
Oh my god.
And I literally went home that night and I was like, I need to. It's a must. I need to. That is what's required. That is the beauty standard that has been set. I need to do it. Not because I wanted to do it at all.
Yeah.
And same thing. I got highlights because it was the trend, or it's because that was what considered pretty, or just plain ashy brown hair wasn't cute.
Yeah.
I needed to change it up. That was the expectation. And the point was, I felt abnormal and ugly and like an outcast, and all because I expected the impossible.
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole thing. I expected me to look like somebody that is completely out of my reach.
Yeah.
Unless I got a insane amount of plastic surgery and full facial reconstruction.
Yeah.
I'm never going to look like what I expected.
And that also has to do with, whoa, that was weird. Going back to part 1 on comparison, you can't expect yourself to look like something that you're not. You will literally never be. Not in a bad way, just you're made a certain way and you're not going to look like what you expect because you're always expecting the most out of yourself.
Exactly.
So.
But no, I made my own heartbreak because I was sad that I didn't look like that. I felt even more. I was even more ugly. I was like, okay, so I don't fit that. I can't fit that. Every attempt I try to make to fit that, it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And it crushed me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It crushed me. I felt completely worthless.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were talking about this and we had decided that it was kind of if you're doing this, then you're literally setting yourself up to fail for the most part. I mean,
no, yeah, you are.
Because if you expect something that is not logical,
it's impossible
out of yourself, that is not possible to achieve, then it's gonna make you upset because you didn't achieve it, and then that's gonna break your heart or whatever, like the quote saying.
Yeah.
And I just tying that back to part 1 because comparison has to do with that a lot.
if you expect yourself to look like the Instagram models and they are 180 from you,
Yeah.
you know, it's going to kill you because you can't.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not like down putting or anything. It's simply impossible. You are not going to be her. You are not going to be that expectation you set. Because that's the whole thing. I set this impossible goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was determined to reach it. And then when I couldn't, it killed me. And I think that's what a lot of girls do. I mean, especially girls. I know boys might do it as well. But
I think maybe, I keep saying I think and maybe, but I believe this. But I think that when we're setting these standards for ourselves, even, it can cause you to like do things that can be like damaging to your body because they're not supposed to be done. Like, for example, like you want to be extremely skinny or something, and so you're under eating and your body can't take that, and so that's damaging your body. Or you're want to be muscular, and so you're like not eating and working out a ton. And so I think that especially when you're setting them and they're very drastic, then it's like damaging to yourself.
No, yeah, for sure.
And your heart.
In your heart, you know?
Yeah. But I think that's just like the major thing that we feel. But also, I think we can set expectations, or not set. I think there may be expectations that we feel that other people put on us. Like, for me, that might be having to do with dance or pom, like, in general, having this standard, I guess. And I don't know if you feel the same
the first
way
thing
with
that comes to mind is grades.
Mm-hmm.
Not specifically me. I have very supportive parents in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed, like other kids are like, oh, I got like a 70, or like not a bad score, but like an 85 or something on a test. And they're like, my parents are going to kill me. Like, this is not I'm like, 85 is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not a bad grade, you know? And they just freak out about it because, like, that's what's expected of them. They're expected to meet these not impossible, but very, very high.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have 100% in all of your classes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a kid with 100% in all their classes ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's called learning. But that's a big thing that comes to mind when we say expectations set by other people.
Yeah.
And I think parents, not to call anybody out, but they set unreal expectations for their kids.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's truly damaging.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that too, like, the expectation. We have said that word like 30 times already.
Ingrained in your brain.
But they're normally not realistic, because if you're setting the standard on yourself of what you're seeing on Instagram, that's not even real.
It's not even real.
And so when you're putting that on yourself to look like something that's not even real, how is that realistic?
Yeah, it's
So,
literally setting you up for heartbreak.
Yeah.
But somehow it's wired in our brains that, you know, fight, go for it. You can make it.
Yeah.
When you can't. Have you ever dealt with any specific
expectations on myself? Yeah. I mean, like with dance, it's just, I say this a lot, but it feels like there is standards of what a dancer is supposed to look like to be a good dancer. And I've said that before, but more recently, I will say I'm very off and on with the way that I feel, but stop. But I think that more recently I've found like I am good, and not, like, I'm not a bad dancer because of the way I look, whether that be fitting the standard or not fitting the standard. And some people believe that, like, oh, you do fit the standard, like me personally, but then it's like, no, I don't see that, but that doesn't make me a bad dancer, you know? And I think that can be with anything. Like,
no, I think that
like,
leads
dance
into
or not.
the advice part of this episode.
That's kind of what I was saying. Like, two, also surround yourself with people that don't try. Yes, but also people who don't try and do what you're doing, like that aren't trying to set expectations for themselves, because then that's going to egg you on to do it.
Yeah.
But then also like that people who don't have expectations for you, you know, people who,
I
like,
think what
both
Jason was saying
sides.
about how you might not fit the exact or like dance body,
Yeah.
you know, like perfect dance body, but you can still dance. You can still use the body that you were given to show emotion and dance.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that can apply to so many other things. Beauty, for example. I don't have to look like this impossible version.
There's not one picture of beauty. Like,
you know
you're
what I
not
mean? Like,
this
I don't
if you're
have
beautiful.
to look like the Instagram model in order to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's what I just couldn't understand.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, you don't have to be that expectation in order to, you know, be fulfilled, if that makes sense.
I agree. Yeah. And also, I think when you embrace, like, what you do have, like, we are healthy and we have
magic happens.
Like, I can dance, like, I have the opportunity, and like I'm blessed with parents that can like help me, like
Pursue
egg me
that,
on and help me pursue it and like pay for that, because Lord knows it's freaking expensive. But I think I literally just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, when you're like embracing, like, I have legs that work, I have a lung, oh my gosh, I have lungs that work, and like I'm healthy, and that's also important to embrace, because
you have a body that is able to dance.
I'm able. Yeah.
You know, and I think we do take a lot of stuff for granted. Like, you know, like some, like I know we've talked about this, but some attributes on other people may be, you know, like,
yeah, like you have different,
like, ooh, I love her nose or something. I love her eyes, or I wish I had her eyebrows or something. But we never think other people could be looking at us like that. You know, ooh, I wish I had her legs, or I wish I had her.
Which that's also really encouraging when you realize that.
Yeah, because, and don't for a second think that you are not looked at that.
Yeah,
because I can guarantee.
Like, and it may not be just about your like outside, like your appearance. It could be like, oh my gosh, she's so inspiring, or she's so like something about your personality, which is honestly a bigger compliment than
that's what I expect myself.
Yeah.
Like, I've changed it up now. It's not so much looks anymore, but like I expect myself to be more trusting, or I expect myself to be more open to new possibilities. You know, like I expect more like characterizing things.
Yeah.
Rather than materialistic. You know?
Yeah.
And I think another thing would be, don't like tailor your expectations to the effort you put in, not the results you could get.
Yeah.
You know, such as like let's say I expect myself to give compliments to everybody. You know, don't change that expectation to I expect to get it back. Like, I'm only going to compliment you because I expect to get one back.
Yeah.
Because then you're expecting then you're expecting the results and not the effort.
Yeah.
You know? So aspire to be kind, or, you know, uplifting, or just any attribute, you know, like character attribute.
Yeah, because it's not all about your outside. Like, we're talking about who you are as a person inside, and I guess you are on the outside. But yeah, and I personally, with dance, I've realized that when you put yourself with people that have the similar mindset as you, it like helps me like grow more. For instance, like, this is just an example, this doesn't really have to do with beauty, but so say I'm learning a certain, this might not make sense, but I'm learning how I'm just gonna talk here but I'm learning how to like take class in a way that benefits me, like, for the future. And if I'm surrounding myself in class with people who are like not taking it seriously or something, then that's not going to help me. No, so when I put myself with people who are pursuing it in a way, and they care very deeply about dance, then that's helping me. That's like helping me grow. So
yeah, I would say some advice for me would be, hang with me on this. Lower your standards to realistic goals. Don't ever like lower your standards. Okay, like don't
not
ever
to like a way deep level.
No. But like let's say you don't love the body you have. You know? There's nothing stopping you from changing it. But don't expect it to be this perfect like body you idolize. You know what I mean? Lower the bars to realistic standards.
Yeah. And then at the same time, like, don't set yourself up for failure. Like,
No,
if you're
that's
expecting that, like, quite possible you could fail. And if you succeed, then I feel like you might be succeeding for the wrong reason. Like, you changed yourself to to that unrealistic thing, and that's not who you're supposed to be. So,
and be patient with it. Let's stay with the analogy of, you know, getting the body you want. Be patient with it. Don't say, "Ooh, I'm gonna lower my expectations to this body shape or this body type or whatever." Don't expect to get it overnight.
Yeah.
Don't expect to do one ab workout and call it. You know, like it takes effort. You know, and it takes time. And you might have little like cheat days, you know, you might sit on your butt all day this time. Yeah. You know, that's okay. So be patient with the results. Don't push yourself too incredibly hard. Yeah. You know?
And I think something for me is if you realize what expectation is logical, like that's actually going to benefit you. Like if you're setting a goal for yourself, goals and expectations are different because if you setting a goal for yourself, then that's bettering you. Yeah. Like actually. But then if you're setting like an unrealistic expectation, then that's like pushing you to something that you don't need to be. Which I'm not saying that every expectation you set for yourself is bad. Like you need to have goals and you need to have things to shoot for in life that'll like benefit you.
Yeah, you need to have a baseline.
Yeah,
somewhere.
But don't let it
just don't make that impossible.
Yeah.
And don't make it like all the way on the ground either. Yeah. You know, push yourself. Expectations is supposed to be like
Challenges
a challenge.
Are good. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And you know, so
that's really all I have.
And I would say maybe like set personal expectations, like simply to you. Yeah. Like I expect I kind of do this weird thing. I picture the best version of myself I can. Yeah. You know, mind, body, spirit, all three of them. How like do I want to be, like how am I going to handle my emotions? That's the mind part. How do I want to, you know, be in my mind spiritually? Then how do I want to look? What is my body like? What do I want my body to look like? Or what do I want to do to maintain the body I have? And then spirit, I think that's more like personality. Like how do I want to be? How do I want to act? How do I want to, you know,
being like known and looked at as.
Yeah. And I set those goals. I think they're more goals than they are expectations. But I just picture this version of myself, and it's exactly where I want to be. And I push myself every day to get closer and closer to that goal. Now, my goal is not this unreachable idea, you know. Like I have managed, like I've thought about it, and I was like, I can reach that. Like it is possible. It's going to take time and it's going to take effort, but I think I can reach that. Yeah. And so I strive every day to get closer to that goal. Yeah. You know? And I feel like that's, I don't know, I feel like it's good because you're going to yourself. You know, you're like fighting for your own, you know, like what you want to be specifically. Yeah. Not somebody else.
Yeah, I like that.
You know? So if you want to be that Instagram model, you know, switch it out with yourself. You know? Yeah. Don't make it somebody else, make it you. And I think that kind of inspires me more to reach it. Because I can picture myself. Yeah. And not somebody else.
Because it's more important to be yourself than somebody else. Oh, that's good. Wait, what? Woo! Okay, that just like clicked with me. It's better to, like what did I say? It's better to be you than be someone else. And that like resonated with me just now because like if I'm comparing myself to that's somebody else, then it's like it's
degrading.
Yeah, no, it's degrading. It's
saying they're better than I am. Yeah. But if you put it to yourself, compare yourself with the best version. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, compare yourself to yourself.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Because then it's not, oh, she's better than I am. It's I'm better than I am. And I know it's
but not in a cocky way.
I'm better than I am. But
no.
It's a little confusing. But you know what I mean? Like, you're fighting for the person you want to become, and it is you.
Yeah.
It's not somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that helps a lot, too.
Mm-hmm.
Or have expectations of the child of God you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that's good.
Put it in the eyes of God.
Mm-hmm.
What does he expect from you?
And I think if you put your, like how Kaylee was saying, like the best version of yourself, if you put in all the attributes that God says you are and like what you are called to be, then that's another thing you compare yourself to. But not like, oh my gosh, I'm comparing myself to this pretty girl. No, like you're comparing yourself to who you're supposed to be in the future.
Yes. Yeah.
Not in the future. Yes.
Yeah.
In the future.
In the future.
Yeah, like coming to be, like working on
be.
being. Okay, well, we're doing good. Okay. Yeah, I really like that. That went in a good path.
Yeah, and I think it tied in with the comparison we did.
We did good.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Round of
Comment down
applause for
below
us.
if we did good. Just kidding. That was weird. But yeah.
But
you helped me a lot. Like I realized stuff that I didn't think about.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But just wrapping it up, a little overview. Set realistic standards for yourself.
Please.
Okay? Stop making them impossible. Stop making them unrealistic. Okay? Because that's only setting you up for heartbreak.
Yeah.
Okay? And maybe even like take it into account, because I don't think we ever really like think, ooh, I want to be like this. This is what I expect of myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like there.
Yeah.
So think about, what is your expectation for yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it the better version of you, or is it some random girl you don't even know?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not what you want it to be, change it. Easy. Fight for that change. Switch it out.
Like it's not easy, but it's like it'll take effort to be, because I would rather be who I'm supposed to be than this other random girl not being this. Okay. So I'd rather be this girl that no. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'd rather be who I'm supposed to be than be this girl who's not being who she's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. That's what I wanted to say.
So set reachable goals. I would say set personal expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And be patient. You know?
Yeah.
Don't expect it to happen overnight. Another expect.
I would say my advice is to surround yourself with people who don't get caught up in how, like, that don't put expectations on themselves, because that's going to egg you on, like I said. And surrounding yourself with people who don't have expectations for yourself, because that's going to feel like more pressure. Mm-hmm. And realizing when an expectation isn't realistic, like realizing if it's logical or realistic. So yeah.
Wow.
That was good.
We did good this episode.
I think that was like good for me. Like that felt good.
I felt inspired. No, I don't think people realize, like, this helps us too. Like, we
seriously,
enjoy
we're
this.
sitting here like I'm realizing things and like I'm like yeah.
It's weird. We're supposed to be inspiring them.
We're like inspiring ourselves.
In a reverse.
Yeah. But it was fun.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up part 2 of the self-confidence mini-series.
We had so much fun this episode, and we hope y'all learned a little something. We love you guys.
Stay tuned for part 3.
Bye.